A man stood before the world's most powerful economists and said three words that should terrify you. Pain is necessary. Not a maybe, not a risk, a policy. What he revealed in the next 8 minutes would reshape millions of lives. And buried in this speech is a 47-word passage where Jerome Powell stopped being a central banker and became something else entirely. A man admitting, on the record, that your suffering is the plan. Stay until the end. I'll show you the exact quote, word for word, and decode what it means for your money over the next 24 months. I've also put together a free cheat sheet that translates Fed speak into plain English. Every phrase Powell uses and what it actually means for your wallet. Link in the description. Grab it now because you'll need it. This is the Jackson Hole Economic Symposium, where central bankers don't give speeches, they give warnings. August 2022. Inflation at 8.3%. The economy overheating. Markets hoping Powell would signal relief. He did the opposite. But here's what most people missed. Powell didn't just announce policy. He invoked a ghost, a former Fed chair who caused the worst recession in 40 years. And he told the room he was about to do the same thing. Let's hear what he said. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here today. At past Jackson Hole conferences, I have discussed broad topics such as the ever-changing structure of the economy and the challenges of conducting monetary policy under high uncertainty. Today, my remarks will be shorter, my focus narrower, and my message more direct. The Federal Open Market Committee's overarching focus right now is to bring inflation back down to our 2% goal. Price stability is the responsibility of the Federal Reserve and serves as the bedrock of our economy. Without price stability, the economy does not work for anyone. Did you catch that? Shorter, narrower, more direct. Central bankers never talk like that. They hedge, they obscure. Powell just told a room full of economists, I'm here to deliver bad news, and I'm not going to dress it up. In particular, without price stability, we will not achieve a sustained period of strong labor market conditions that benefit all. The burdens of high inflation fall heaviest on those who are least able to bear them. That's not economic theory. That's an admission. High inflation hurts poor people more than rich people. And Powell knows that what he's about to do will also hurt. But he's decided the alternative is worse. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable, because Powell is about to say the quiet part out loud. Listen to the next 30 seconds very carefully. This is the Fed chair telling you he's going to cause a recession on purpose. Restoring price stability will take some time and requires using our tools forcefully to bring demand and supply into better balance. Reducing inflation is likely to require a sustained period of below-trend growth. Moreover, there will very likely be some softening of labor market conditions. Softening of labor market conditions. In English, layoffs, hiring freezes, your raise disappearing. And he's not predicting this, he's prescribing it. The successful Volcker disinflation in the early 1980s followed multiple failed attempts to lower inflation over the previous 15 years. A lengthy period of very restrictive monetary policy was ultimately needed to stem the high inflation and start the process of getting inflation down to the low and stable levels that were the norm until the spring of last year. Paul Volcker. The man who raised interest rates to 20% crashed the economy. Unemployment hit 10.8%. Millions lost jobs. And Powell just told a room full of the world's most powerful economists. That's my role model. But here's what makes the next 47 words different from anything Volcker ever said publicly. The confession is coming. But I want to make sure you can decode everything Powell says, not just in this speech, but in every Fed announcement going forward. That's why I made the Fed translation cheat sheet. It's free, it's in the description, and it breaks down every phrase central bankers use to hide what they're really saying. Grab it now. While higher interest rates, slower growth, and softer labor market conditions will bring down inflation, they will also bring some pain to households and businesses. These are the unfortunate costs of reducing inflation. But a failure to restore price stability would mean far greater pain. There it is, 47 words. Pain to households and businesses. That's you, your mortgage rate, your job security, your retirement account. Unfortunate costs. Layoffs, hiring freezes, raises that never come. But here's what makes this extraordinary. Central bankers never admit this publicly. They hedge, they use jargon, they obscure. Powell didn't. He looked at the most powerful people in finance and said, on the record, "We will hurt people. We know we will hurt people. And we're going to do it anyway, because the alternative is worse." This wasn't a warning. It was a promise. If this is the kind of analysis that actually helps you understand what's happening to your money, hit subscribe. I break down every major Fed decision in plain English. Now here's how Powell ended it, and why this phrase should keep you up at night. We will keep at it until we are confident the job is done. Our responsibility to deliver price stability is unconditional. Unconditional. Not we'll try. Not we hope. Unconditional. That word is the Fed telling you they will cause a recession if that's what it takes. They will hold rates high even when people start losing jobs. They will not stop until inflation breaks, no matter what breaks with it. August 26th, 2022. Powell told you exactly what was coming. Slower growth, job losses, pain. Most people didn't hear it because they don't speak Fed. Now you do. Download the Fed translation cheat sheet. Links in the description. Next time Powell speaks, you'll understand every word. 6 months after this speech, Powell gave another announcement where he admitted something even Wall Street didn't expect. I'm breaking that down next. Subscribe so you don't miss it.